Hey friends, welcome back to Grand Adventure. I'm your host, Mark Guido, and this is going to be a relatively short episode this week because we're spending just a few days cooling our jets in Mesquite, Nevada, as we wait for the proper winter weather window to finish our 2023 travel season for the last leg right back to our winter RV home in Salt Lake City. So stay tuned. We've stayed in Mesquite, Nevada rather often, as it's one of the last relatively warm, snow-free stops to or from Utah when connecting with the southern route to head either east or west that avoids weather complications both in spring and in fall. This is the perfect place for us to hole up while we wait for the proper weather window for our final 5-hour push to the Salt Lake City area. Like Las Vegas, 80 miles to the southwest, Mesquite is part of Clark County, Nevada, situated right on the border of the Arizona Strip and just a half-hour's drive from St. George, Utah. It's a very scenic location, located at the foot of the Virgin Mountains in the valley of the Virgin River, the headwaters for which sit high in the southern Utah mountains above Zion National Park. If you've hiked the Narrows in Zion, you've splashed through the waters of the Virgin River. Mesquite was first settled by Mormon pioneers in 1880. Who called it Mesquite Flat. The community was finally established on the third attempt after having been flooded out by the waters of the Virgin River on the first 2 tries. Like nearby Bunkerville, Mesquite had its origins in farming, but the opening of the Peppermill Mesquite Casino in the 1970s drove Mesquite's now diversified economy. More casinos opened in the 1990s, and by 2006, Mesquite was one of the fastest growing small towns in the entire country. It's now home to between 15,000 and 20,000 year-round residents, many of whom have relocated here for the region's relatively warm, snow-free winter weather. Over the years, we've stayed at several locations in Mesquite, and the Sun Resorts RV Park has quickly become our favorite. Not to be confused with RV parks owned nationally by Sun Outdoors. This cozy, tidy little RV park is in an enviable location in town, just off, but not too close to the noise of I-15. We're paying $56.70 per night, including taxes and fees, for a generous pull-through, full hookup site, with easy access to economical laundry facilities on site. The staff, too, are out of this world. The access to grocery shopping from Sun Resorts is unparalleled. It's a 60-second walk. Ironically, we've come nearly full circle in our RV travels for 2023. Upon leaving Salt Lake City at the beginning of May, after a quick first stop in southern Utah, our second week of RV travel this season was to boondock at scenic Whitney Pocket, only about 25 miles due south of Mesquite. We'll link to that episode right here on the screen. Now nearing the end of our travel season, we're waiting in Mesquite for the right opportunity to complete our drive back to Utah's Salt Lake Valley. What goes around, comes around. So it's looking like Thursday is going to be the day after a cold stretch this week up north. We have a quick break in the action tomorrow before a major multi-day winter weather system moves into the Wasatch. So we're going to make a run for it on Thursday, but in the meantime, I wanted to take the opportunity to remind you that we're going to be co-hosting the annual Q24 Rally in Quartzsite, Arizona, coming up January 19th to 29th, 2024. We're going to have all kinds of activities and festivities to round out the entire 10-day period, including excursions out kayaking and hiking, Dutch oven cooking workshops. The Big Tent RV show is going to be taking place right down the street, so this is a great time to come on out to the Sonoran Desert and do some boondocking with us. We'll put a link right down below in the video description if you would like to learn more, and we would absolutely love to see you in the queue January 2024. Sure enough, after some light snowfall across southern Utah Wednesday afternoon and evening, Thursday has dawned bright and sunny. So it's time to pack up and head out for the scenic 5-hour run back to the Salt Lake Valley. The drive home takes us up through the spectacular Virgin River Gorge in the short Arizona Strip before entering Utah at St. George. There are 4 high points along I-15 between St. George and Salt Lake City, where the weather can be unpredictable. The first of those 4, Beaver Ridge at elevation 6,500 feet, lies just ahead, and I'm not liking what I'm seeing. Sure enough, I'm seeing a snow squall ahead on radar, an unexpected and unplanned leftover from last night's weather. Perhaps we'll get lucky and thread a gap in the action? We've thankfully hit the gap, but the squall has already left its mark. We've got patches of slush and ice on the road, and some cars here have slid off the roadway into the median, while others have pulled to the shoulder. Time to back off the accelerator, for the last thing I want to see in my side view mirror is our fifth wheel trailer trying to pass us. North of Beaver Ridge, on the descent into Beaver, Utah, we're seeing a couple of additional very picturesque snow squalls crossing the desert, but it looks like we'll manage to miss them. North of Beaver, the skies have cleared and it looks like smooth sailing. Pulling off the highway in Fillmore for diesel, I see that the Love's travel stop here has added some of the company's new full hookup RV spots. As we approach Nephi, Utah, we're greeted by another unwelcome Utah winter weather phenomenon. A thick inversion haze that often fills these northern Utah valleys during times of persistent, stagnant high pressure. But all is well that ends well, and we've pulled into our winter RV site in Utah's Salt Lake Valley for ski season. So that's now officially a wrap on our 2023 travel season. A full 7 months of spectacular camping, both in RV parks and boondocking, all across the western half of the United States. And we have counted this as one of our most successful travel seasons yet. We stayed in some absolutely spectacular locations, enjoyed some wonderful scenery and some wonderful sightseeing all across the western half of the U.S. Coming up next week, we're going to share with you our biggest episode of the year. It's our annual retrospective on the highlights of our entire 2023 travel season. So if you're not yet a grand adventurer yourself, now is the time for you to go smash that little subscribe button right down there in the lower right-hand corner of your screen and ring that notification bell to be sure that you never miss a grand adventure. We'd also be honored if you shared the channel with your friends, family, and on social media. Understand, it is extremely important to us that if you like this episode, please be sure to give us a big thumbs up down below. And while you're down below, that's where you'll find the comments section, where we always love to hear from you after every grand adventure. So until next Wednesday, the best of retrospective, please remember life is nothing but a grand adventure. We'll see you then.